ओम श्री साई राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो, राम राम राम। राम राम राम। राम राम राम। श्री राम राम राम। पाप कटे दुख मिटे, लेत राम नाम। भव समुद्र सुखद नाव, एक राम नाम। परम शांति सुख निधान, मंत्र राम नाम। निराधार को आधार, एक राम नाम। मात पिता बंधु सखा, सब ही राम नाम। भक्त जनर जीवन धन, एक राम नाम। ओम श्री साई राम। Wonderful God. Today he told me to sing this bhajan instead of my regular Ganesha bhajans. He said, why do you differentiate between Ganesha, Rama, Shiva, Krishna? All are one. Yes, Swami. Today he has commanded me to actually reveal how this God works on every human plane and divine plane simultaneously. I have mentioned earlier that Swami actually changed my destiny the day he selected my wife Pooja for me. And that too he did indirectly. He didn't tell me anything. He told my father, she is your daughter-in-law for your second son. In Puttaparthi. The day I came to know about that, I had never known her before. I knew that Swami wants to change my destiny. And my love for him is so unconditional and intense. His one indication is enough for me to decide and do what he wants me to do. But having changed my destiny, this God started working on different planes. In retrospect, I now realize when I contemplate and introspect on what all He has given and done to this child without asking. Till today, I never asked anything from Him except one, that please don't listen to my prayers. I may make some prayers out of some emotions or situations. Please don't listen to my prayers, my suggestions. Do with me what you feel is good, not only for me, or good of all. And He has given me everything. I think it was Tagore or some other great poet who has written, "O God, how lovingly you refuse my prayers. How lovingly you refuse my prayers." They say when God gives, be happy. But when He refuses to give, be more happy. because his mode of repayment is interest upon interest upon interest upon interest. He has refused all my childish, immature, foolish prayers, thankfully, and given me, without my asking, everything beyond my imagination. In a way, he has gifted me after having gifted me with my divine wife. He started chasing me like anything. Where is your son? I would say, Swami, there's no buddhi ledu. He gave us interview. He said, son is in the womb of mother. And he moved the little finger of God. My mother was with me, my wife and me. And he moved this finger and thundered. Conception starts from this moment. First son, next daughter. Great spiritual son. I will come to your house to keep his name. But then he looked up and said, I will come to your house next time. First you bring him here. And then Divine Mother will come to you. Today I will talk little about this gift of God, rather gifts of God. Because we both, myself and my wife, truly believe that they are not our creation. In fact, I have mentioned in that video that the moment Swami announced the conception start from this moment, my wife was medically not fit to conceive the child. She was under monthly periods. And everybody knows ladies, no lady can conceive during that period. So we believe, but it happened. They are not our children, they are not our creation, no ways. And when this child Harshvardhan was born exactly after 9 months, on ninth day, 18th of April 1980, of course, like Mother Yashoda, my wife also forgot that he is divine child, divine gift. And she would sometimes beat him if he's not taking his food properly. Every mother does like that. And she tells me, I was not at home, when she hit him once tight. A old fakir appeared, he knocked the door, and he came and told her only one thing, Amma, he is Vithala. He is from Shirdi. Don't ever beat him. Don't raise your hand to beat him. He was just 1.5 years or so. So we started calling him actually Vithala till Swami gave him the name after he was 3 years nearly. In his interview room, he gave him name Harshvardhan, and Swami said, he is your Harish, he is Harsha, only E difference. And Harshvardhan means one who attracts, who gives joy to others. He cut his hair, he gave him first morsel of food to both my children. I never prayed or even asked. I had no clue that we need to ask these things from Swami. And for his admission in school, without my asking, in 1990 when we came to Whitefield to attend summer course. We used to do every year. I have attended all the summer courses from 77 onwards. Before coming to Whitefield, we started, I believe, on 14th, 13th or 14th of May 1990. On 12th of May that year, Swami had come to Dharmashetra, and for the first time, two boys, young boys, were selected. One to give flower to Swami, and second one to perform Mangala Arati to Swami on the stage, Mumbai Dharmashetra. The boy who was selected to give flower to Swami is Sai Kiran, son of my elder brother, Dr. Prem. And the boy who was selected to perform Mangala Arati, full Mangala Arati to Swami on stage, Dharmashetra, Mumbai, was my son, his son, Harshvardhan. And when we came to Whitefield and he found that only boys are allowed to go near Swami, without my asking, my telling, without informing me, he wrote one letter to Swami. Swami, I want to be your student. I want admission in a school. That's it. And Swami accepted the letter. We had our tickets booked for return journey right from, because we knew that Swami would leave Whitefield around first. Normally he used to do that. And his schools were opening in month of June. So we had booked our tickets from Bangalore to come back. But this boy gave letter to Swami and Swami took the letter. So we thought, and Swami left Whitefield on very next day of completion of summer course, which was rare. And Swami immediately said for his admission, there is a big story. Swami just wanted me to cancel and tear off my tickets. He sent me to school. Go, principal sahab se baat karo. And madam also said, yes, yes, you bring him tomorrow. I will just. She was very kind to our family. They are Rishi Munis. They are in constant and conscious touch with Swami at some level. So when we got assurance from principal madam and Swami blessing, we tore off our tickets, because those days there were no computer and nobody was buying our tickets to Mumbai. So we had to just let go, let God. And next day, when we take the same child to the same principal madam, she said, no, 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 he is from Maharashtra, Marathi medium. We take only UGC, Hindi as to be his main subject, not Marathi. So we cannot take him. You can come only after 3 years when they go to 8th standard, secondary school, not in primary. No ways. Bluntly, one day before she was so happy, because she knew us. And she knew that Swami has told me this. She used to see that Swami is very close and very intimate with me. But now the same person tells me, no, 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 nothing doing. So I told Swami, and he said something in Telugu. Then I came to know, because I heard principal Sahab se baat karo. This is madam. Who is Sahab? Then I came to know there is one Mr. Chauhan who was appointed, he was a retired military officer in that year in Uti as principal of that school. His game, his ways, and he got admission in Uti. That too was a miracle, because we found that there were 65 students from all over India for standard, from first to fourth standard, fourth standard, then fifth, sixth, seventh, another batch. And the principal announced that though we have vacancies, but the standard of these children, the school is no match with Sathya Sai standards. So he rejected all the students. He said, I'm sorry, I can't help because the standards of Swami schools are, and all were very brilliant boys and girls from boys from, I mean, girls also were there, yeah. Small up to primary boys and girls, they study together. They were all brilliant from Chennai, from Bangalore, from Mumbai, from Calcutta, with big marks, big schools. But he announced in presence of everybody out of all the 65, Swami has selected only one boy. And then he looked for the paper to announce the name. For a moment, we everybody lost our breath. And he said that boy is Harshvardhan Harish Thakur. We cried like kids. Enjoy. And when he came, because Uti had holidays for 2 months, November and December, this boy Harshvardhan became such a form boy with Swami. I have been watching, observing boys right from 70s. I know practically all the form boys who stayed around Swami, right from Nityanand and Sudarshan brother to Kamal Sahani to present generation. No primary school boy has enjoyed such proximity, such love from Swami. Every day Swami would come, he would sit just outside Swami's door, even one position ahead of Mr. Khyaldas. Swami would come and pull his cheeks. He materialized a locket for him in the portico. Practically every alternate day he would perform coconut aarti for Swami. Every day he would give kerchief to Swami for wiping his hands, blessing his kerchief. And how many birthdays in these 2 months he celebrated, Swami alone knows. Every week he will take a birthday tray and Swami would oblige him, love him like anything. And he was instrument getting us our that divine interview which changed our destiny. 20th of December 1990. This was the first time 6 months we stayed there and Swami had not called us for interview. Otherwise, whenever I had come, even for a week, at least one interview. But now 6 months and no interview. We were wondering. Then we found that this Swami is loving this boy. So we requested, in fact, Harshvardhan to ask Swami to give us an interview. And every day he will eat Swami's head. Swami interview. Swami said, Swami family interview. Swami said, where is your family? Family means your wife. He said, no, Swami, my mother and father. So at last, Swami had to agree to his request, his prayers. Swami would not be able to tolerate even tear in his eyes. Once in Kodaikanal, he was sitting with the ladies with his mother. I was doing Swami's Padaseva. In between the discourse, Swami indicated both of us, the boy on the left side and me on the right side. And he saw me, stood up and called Harshvardhan. Everybody was wondering why Swami has to get up in mid of the discourse. Normally he would get up only when he has to materialize. But here Swami just got up and he called Harshvardhan. Hey boy, come here. Colonel Jogara said, Swami, what happened? He was wondering. He was sitting there. He said, this boy is eating my head. I did not sign his photograph in the mandir. He is sitting with his mother and he is eating my head in his mind. I can't bear it. So he called the boy and he signed this photograph. Swami is signing his photograph with love, Baba. That was the concern Swami showed, the love Swami showed upon him. Very rare. And in the interview, this boy started crying. He said, Swami, I want to be with you. I want to be in Parthi, please, Swami. Okay, don't cry. Next year, come here. We thought next year means next academic year because he was to leave on 1st of January. His vacations would be over and then examination in March or April, their term ends and he would come, and Swami said, next year, come here. Next day, Colonel Jogarao himself told me this. Swami called Colonel Jogarao and asked him to arrange shifting of the entire school with teachers, with furniture, with everything to, and merge that school with the primary school in Puttaparthi. Swami called all the teachers, OT's teachers and primary teachers, and told them, this is the arrangement I am making. I am selling that school in Ooty, closing that school in Ooty, and shifting the entire everything. Colonel Jogarao could not understand why Swami has to do this in mid of the term. He inquired from Swami. Swami said, Papa, that boy cried. I have promised him. And of course, there could be many other reasons. This divine God works on different dimensionals simultaneously. But this is the reason he told Colonel Jogarao. Colonel Jogarao called me and he said, Harish, your son has to be something very special. This is never done. Swami is shifting he could shift one boy, but he's shifting the entire school. Once Bapu Asharam visited Puttaparthi 1990 or 91. That time nobody knew him in Puttaparthi, and he came with introduction from one of my friends in Ulhasnagar. So I arranged for his room next to my room. He visited our room. As soon as he entered our room, he closed his eyes and sat down on the floor. ये तो शबरी की कुटिया है. And when he looked at the photograph of Swami with Harshvardhan, that small photograph, Swami and Harshvardhan with that Swami's car, he said, never come in between your son and this God. They are eternal friends. And 1993, Swami gave a group interview to the boys, the birthday boys. He was in 7th class, 13th of January 1993. And Swami asked him, hey, where is your father? He said, Swami, you are my father. This is the normal question answer session going on between Swami and primary schools. Swami said, hey, I'm asking about physical father. And he said very confidently, you are my physical father also, Swami. You alone are my physical father, because he knew the background, how he was conceived. Swami said, no, 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 I can see your father. He is sitting there. No? He is a doctor. Now this boy got some shaking of his sense. He said, no, Swami, he is a civil engineer. No, no, I know him. He is a doctor. I can see him. And then Swami brings him out. Not only that, Swami also mentioned, you are from Ulhasnagar, isn't it? He said, yes, Swami. You know who arranged all the things for Sindhis who migrated from Pakistan? I directed Colonel Jogarao to arrange everything for Sindhis in Chembur, Mumbai and Ulhasnagar. This was not known to anybody. This divinity, this God works silently. And then Swami comes out and he introduced my son to all the VIPs and staff sitting in the portico. Look at this boy. His mother is serving in Swami's hospital, and his father is a doctor. Even his grandmother, very noble lady, she is also here. Very noble family. Now everybody in the portico knew that I am a civil engineer. And this God is telling in front of everybody to reconfirm what he told him in private in interview. Swami is reconfirming and announcing in public that his father is a doctor. And my son thought that Swami is mistaking me to be my elder brother, who in college days looked like me. We both, many boys used to get confused looking at our faces. Suppose somebody comes after 1 week or so, they will call me Prem or call him Harish. We were not twins, but many features identical. Those days, college days. So, my son thought that Swami is making a mistake. Small boy. But I knew the sun can rise from the west, but this God will never commit a mistake. Impossible, unthinkable. If he says that I'm a doctor, I have to be a doctor. And next day to confirm, because my wife said, okay, Swami will not make a mistake, but he can make fun. I said, yeah, that is possible. And no, I was not at all actually ready to be a doctor. I was that time 40 years, 93, 40 years, living in Puttaparthi with my mother, with my wife, two kids. How could I be a doctor, a civil engineer into a doctor? Again, unthinkable. Next day, Swami comes to me and I asked Swami, you really want me to be a doctor? You are a doctor. You will become doctor to doctors. Do homeopathy. I did not know the spelling of homeopathy at that point in time. And Swami arranged his own Professor Ramaraju. He sent a boy to me to go to Professor Ramaraju and learn homeopathy from him. And when he looked at me, he repeated the same words. You will become doctor to doctors. You have to start practicing in 1 month. Are you ready? I said, sir, I don't know. Whatever Swami commands, I will do. And when he started reading the Nash, the lycopodium, the sulfur, I could understand as I find no since ages. And I started practicing exactly in 1 month time. I used to go with him to take cases for 1 month, every day, morning and evening. And after 1 month, I took up my first case independently and cured the person. And of course, with his, as he had announced and declared, most of the doctors, MD doctors, MS doctors, even from Swami's super specialty hospital, GH hospital, doctors coming from overseas, from Switzerland, from US, from UK, they became my patients. The word is spread in the ashram. And my guru, Professor Ramaraju, would direct everybody to me. Not only that, Swami arranged to invite Dr. George Vittelkos, number one homeopath in the entire world. Incidentally, he was also a civil engineer. Today he is running his academy of teaching homeopathy to MD, MS doctors in the US. He came to Puttaparthi as my guest, stayed with me for 2 days, and at the end of 2 days, when I took cases along with him to learn from him, he said, Harish, your understanding of homeopathy is just excellent. He sent me the books authored by him and with his personal letter, which is with me. And Swami appeared in vision of mother of one Dr. George, an oncologist from Greece, in Taj Hotel in Bangalore, telling her, my vision, Swami materialized in front of her. I never known them. He is your doctor. Not only that, in 93, when Swami stayed in Whitefield for nearly 5 to 6 months after that June incident, I was officially, with Swami's permission, personal permission, appointed as in charge of the boys in the hostel in Whitefield as a homeopathy doctor, and one professor of mathematics, Dr. Subramaniam. He wanted to learn homeopathy from me. I said, "You first take Swami's permission." He took Swami's permission. "Swami, if you bless, can I learn homeopathy from Dr. Sai Harish?" Swami said, "Yes." Swami accepted his prayer. Today he is on a higher level. He knows better than me. But the blessing came to me unasked through this child. When he was 2 years, 3 years rather, I think it was 83, uh, All India Bal Vikas Conference on 24th of November, after Swami's birthday, I was sitting in the first row in Purnachandra with this child on my lap. Swami was just in his divine blissful mood. He was looking at the big paintings of Christ and Buddha in the Purnachandra, and we could see Swami's hands folded from back. So, because I was very close, I could see even the lifeline of Swami on his hand, on his palm. So close. Suddenly, Swami turns and he asks, "Hey, your son?" I don't know. Swami gave me the sense. I said, "Swami, your son." And Swami just, he did not do this. He just, from his empty hands, he did like this, and a big piece of sweet candy, this big, it fell on my lap in my hands for Harshvardhan. Once in 3 sessions, Swami asked the warden, "Anybody can speak in Sanskrit today?" So the warden looked at Harshvardhan because he was chanting Sanskrit mantras, everything. And Harsha spoke for nearly 5 6 minutes in Sanskrit in presence of Swami in Trai. Not only that, in Kodaikanal 97-98, he was again selected by Swami to give a speech in Kulwant Hall. My mother used to tell about this boy that he is not of this age, he is of Satyuga age. I have known